do you feel like it's still kind of stuffy? Do you feel like it's like, you know what I'm saying? Do you feel like it's...
Yeah, I mean, but when we're out there in our cart doing our own thing, like, it don't really matter, you know what I mean? Like, I bring the boombox out there. I mean, it's almost like some Happy Gilmore shit, kind of, but more...
I like
that. On some b-boy shit. Like, when we're out there, we really don't give a fuck, you know? The only thing I'm not doing is probably tagging on the golf course. And there's little places too, and I see little like cutty spots in between the holes. I was like, oh, I should hit up right there, you know? Maybe throw a sticker or something now and then, but nah, I haven't really brought a can to the course. But, you know, I think that's the beauty of it too. The golf thing is, like you said, it's maybe very different of how you picture me, but it's a good departure from the day-to-day like grind or whatever, you know what I mean? To just get on the course, and it's beautiful out there.
What's up, guys, and welcome to another brand new episode of Par 3 Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Ben Baller. Got my dog, Stephen Malbon here, and my man via Zoom, J.R. Smith, NBA world champion legend. And on today's episode, we got someone completely out of the golf spectrum you would ever expect ever. He is from the art world. Actually, he is a famous graffiti artist. My man, OG Slick, was good.
Throw a little golf clap on him.
Welcome to the first tee.
At the first tee, my bad, guys. At the first tee, my man OG Slick. Slick, I just got back from Hawaii last night.
Oh, you did?
I was in your hometown, Honolulu, bro. And I didn't have no sticks with me, so you know I was depressed.
Oh,
like
man.
The course is
That's
right
all we
there.
do when we're out there is like smack balls around.
Funny thing, me and Slick, completely just by coincidence, have been running in the same circle for over 30 years in the graffiti scene. A guy who I tell people he's my cousin, and he's not. His name is Deffer. And he got me into graffiti. And then we ended up running in the same crew, one of the most notorious graffiti crews in the world, K2S. And Slick came from Hawaii, right? In the late 80s.
Yep.
What year did you get into K2S?
Probably, I think it was like maybe late 87, 88.
Yeah. And this was the time when there was big beefs between, if you're in the graffiti scene, I'm sure people watching the show have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about, but like, this was like West Coast artists versus, you know, K2S, my man Paul Kahneman, aka Skept, I was about to say his full government, I shouldn't, and you know, versus Minor and all that stuff and everything, and shout out to the whole crew, but Slick is somebody you would never think in a billion years plays golf.
Really?
I mean, I think so. I just think that's just the craziest thing.
Thank you.
You know, but like, you get a spray paint can, you know, or some, you know, some repeatographs or some, you know what I'm saying? Some, you know, some ultra wides or mini wides. And Slick comes from the art world. And when I found out you played golf, Steven told me.
Yeah.
So I'm like, damn, man. So talk about the journey and when you started playing and stuff.
I first got introduced, I guess, through my pops at a real young age, but it wasn't serious. I mean, he golfed with his buddies and, you know, I'd hit the 3-par now and then with him, but I got more, it was the 80s, so I was more into like racquetball. I loved racquetball. I could kick ass in racquetball. But golf, I never took seriously enough, or like I had the lessons and the whole nine where I felt like I could conquer the game, you know? So it was just a on and off sort of thing. Fast forward all these years, I would play here and there now and then with it was so rare that I'd play. I couldn't even say that I play. It wasn't until COVID hit, and we went to go check on moms in Hawaii, and we ended up just staying there because my friends in LA were like, dude, it's fucking nuts out here. They're like, if you can stay in Hawaii, just stay. And so we were fortunate enough, you know, we had the means to stay out there for about close to 2 years, a year and a half, whatever. So there's not much to do on the island, especially during COVID. I mean, there's even less to do, but golf. You know, all my buddies are like, let's golf. And I was like, all right, you know, so I got my set of clubs and, you know, took it a little bit more seriously, you know, and just got hooked. You know, we loved it. We hit like every course on the island, and I ain't a great player, but I just love golfing. I love the more like exotic courses and the difficult ones, even though like we're hacking away and losing cases and cases of balls, but it don't matter. We're just out there with the boys, and and some of these guys I've known from Graph for years, from my b-boy crew, like Shansky and John Prime. There are a couple of guys I golf with in Hawaii, and I guess part of it was just nice to be out with the boys. Some of them are a little bit more serious than I was, about the game. Especially John Prime. He's actually pretty dope, and he's a sick writer too,
Right.
So he helps me with my game when we're out there. But then that gets hard because when I'm playing with different people, and I guess they see me playing, they feel like I need help or something, because they all feel like they got some pointers for me. So all these people giving me different pointers is really difficult to try and remember all that shit, especially when you're going up to the tee, and then there's like, okay, but you have to have your weight back here, and then you have to, you got to not bring it in from too deep inside and come from out, and then it's like, okay, and then you're trying to remember all this shit, like going through a swing, it just
Barely hit the ball.
yeah, and then you'll just hit the back of the ball, or like fuck it. So I try not to overthink it, just go up there and whack,
That's how you got to do it, bro.
I think what he was saying with like you're like the last person he would think that golfs, right? Which is like charming for you, but at the same time, like, knowing like a lot of writers and such, and even just artists in general, like artists and graffiti artists for sure, definitely aren't like the first people that you think of being like
Right.
golfing. And
I know a lot of skaters made the transition, like I know Scotty Oster and a few of the old homies. They actually picked up the game and picked it up quick,
Scott does?
Yeah, Oster
I've known
was,
Scott for 30-something years, too.
Oster was pretty dope. I haven't talked to him in a minute, but he was getting really good at one point. I remember him throwing the club like across the course, like just he's really passionate about this.
You said
shit.
John Prime, but could you imagine Prime?
Yeah.
Like
Oh.
Prime. Can you imagine Prime playing?
So
Like,
I don't know if it's why more writers don't golf, but I know a few. I know like there's Greg Mike, but he's more like street artist guy.
from Atlanta.
Yeah, Greg
Yeah,
Mike, Persuade Golf, and like I said, John Prime. There's a few of us that get down,
right. I mean, I couldn't imagine like Brian, like Cause or somebody, or like even like Stash. Couldn't imagine Stash play or Lenny. Like
I couldn't see
Future.
Stash, but I could definitely see Cause, especially with his little hat. And I mean, I don't know him like that, but the few photos I saw of him, he looks like
I
a
know.
fucking golfer.
He's just not. He's just
No?
But yeah, he does look like almost like a Jordan Spieth. Like he looks like no, he's just not. I just couldn't
Okay.
see him playing golf.
We like to go out there, have fun. We like to look good too. At least for me personally. Like I may not be the best on the course, but I definitely want to look fly out there. You know what I mean? Like
No, for sure.
have the dope kicks, have the the fly attire, and which is I guess kind of like how it was back in the day. I mean, I wasn't there like when golf first originated, but you see them with their their outfits and their pants and their plaid. Like looks like they were trying to show out too, right? And look good, besides being badass, But the thing with Graph, it was really competitive, and I think that kind of lends itself to the golf thing too, like competition. I love video games, you know what I mean? So yeah, golf. I was real good at the Nintendo one back in the day. I forgot what that one was.
What 64? You talking about a golf game?
The golf game, long time ago. Like I think it was like a Nintendo or something. It was like
I'm talking about the regular Nintendo.
yeah, the regular Nintendo.
From your like you're like you have a unique vantage point, right? Like your whole approach and style and everything. Like, what's your take on golf today?
My take on it.
like golf as a whole.
Culture.
Oh, dude, I couldn't even give you that much. I'm not that deep in it where like I could make that sort of assessment or a comment on it.
Like, what's your opinion? Like, do you feel like it's still kind of stuffy? Do you feel like it's like, you know what I'm saying? Do you feel like it's
Yeah, I mean, but when we're out there in our cart doing our own thing, like it don't really matter. You know what I mean? Like, I bring the boombox out there. I mean, it's almost some Happy Gilmore shit, kind of, but more.
I like
like
that.
on some b-boy shit. Like when we're out there, we really don't give a fuck, you know? The only thing I'm not doing is probably tagging on the golf course. And there's little places too, and I see little like cutty spots in between the holes. I was like, oh, I should hit up right there, you know? Maybe throw a sticker or something now and then, but nah, I haven't really brought a can to the course. But you know, I think that's the beauty of it too. The golf thing is Like you said, it's maybe very different of how you picture me, but it's a good departure from the day-to-day like grind or whatever, you know what I mean? To just get on the course, and it's beautiful out there, because I don't do much nature shit like hiking or whatever. So yeah, it's just beautiful to take in, and like every day we are out there, we just feel grateful, you know, and we tell the boy, we all you know, like hug it out in the beginning and after. We're just we always remind ourselves how thankful we are to be at this age out here having fun, man. Like that's the best, you know.
I mean, do you take it like? I mean, do you want to get better? Would you like to be a good golfer?
Yeah. I mean, I would love to actually get lessons and the whole nine. Like I said, with racquetball, I did that the proper way, so no one can fuck with me with racquetball. You know what I mean? No, real talk. You know, not that there's any racquetball courts left, but that's my shit. It's because I got taught the proper way. Like if I would need the ball to go here, or if I need you to run there, like I know how to play you. But golf, I get up there, it's like I'm just hoping to make contact and the ball to go forward. You know what I mean? Like, but when I'm in like the 80-yard range or whatever, when I start to get like with my 56, I'm pretty good with that. You know, I gotten pretty good with that. Driving, I love it when I hit a good drive, and just that feeling of making contact and just seeing that fucker just go straight, you know, and not like, you know,
slice.
Yeah. So I love a great drive. It's just my percentage isn't that great, but you know, a lot of times we're not, you know, they let me take my mulligans or whatever. Like so I'll skip a couple, but when I make contact, it's all worth it. You know, I've quit so many times too. Like I love and hate the game so much. Like yeah,
I've quit a few times, bro.
Oh yeah, I was like, I'll never pick up another golf club again. And then you know you'll get that one nice hit. And you're like, oh, hell yeah, this is what it's about, you know?
Being an artist, like when you out there, do you ever get like, you get inspired by different things to do, like to make something, different pieces of art or whatever?
Well, nah, because most of my art has nothing to do with golf. I think that's the beauty of it being out there, that I don't have to think about anything or think about creating or think about, no. It's totally opposite. Whereas my everyday life, I'm always thinking about art or what I'm creating or what's the next or what I'm, you know, and out there, I don't have to think about that. Except when I found out he was doing Malbon, I was like, you know what? I go, that might be kind of a dope like mashup. I mean, if he's down, because I'm not really interested in starting another apparel line or anything like that. But I was like, I could definitely see some cool shit, you know, happening with us, because I see him doing a lot of beautiful work. But, you know, maybe it just needs a little slick touch in there, like, you know, little capsule. I think that would be banging. That's the only time maybe I was thinking about work. I mean, during COVID, we're talking a lot about crypto and all that shit. You know, a lot of my boys were talking a lot of crypto shit and having big dreams. Like I already moved to Palos Verdes like 3 times. I already picked out a lot out there and everything when crypto was banging, you know? Yeah. And then when it went down there, and I'm just like, okay, I think we could just do a couple renovations at the house, like, you know. But yeah, we have fun out there. Yeah.
JR, you ever walk off the course, quit?
Yeah.
Where'd you head?
I went home. I went, because in Denver, I used to live on a course. And this is like when I really first started, like, you know, grinding at the game. And I was still so naive to think that I was like going to get really good really fast and like be able to shoot in the 70s after like the first 2 years. And it really wasn't happening. So I would go on the range and I was striping it. I lived on this course in Cherry Creek in Denver. And I remember I used to I had my own golf cart. So I used to drive out my backyard and start on like 11 fairway or something. Just drop a ball, hit. And I was playing. I'm like, you know, I feel like I'm going to play good. And then before you know it, I hit a house. I was like, damn. And then I was just like, I'm going to just, you know, speed up to the next spot. Act like it wasn't me type shit. I go to the next tee off, hit another house. I'm like, oh my God. Bro, no lie. I end up finding my ball. Dude wasn't really tripping or whatever. And the guy's standing there watching me at this point. So I'm like, oh, extra nervous now. Bro, when I tell you I duck hooked it out of the rough and hit another house, I got in the cart and went right back home. I literally hit like probably like 6 shots. And
you hit 3 houses in 6 shots.
First of all, I hit 3 houses in 6 shots, but 3 in a row. When I tell you my consistency was ridiculous.
What
crazy.
a game.
What a game.
So
and I'm still playing 12 years later. What's wrong with me?
Well, that's comforting, you know.
Right? What is wrong
So,
with
hey,
me?
what is up with that? When you hit those houses, are you responsible
No.
for that? I mean,
They have to sign
who
waivers
told them
when
to
they-
live there?
No,
I mean,
you are responsible for some. I think that each one is different. My boy at Wilshire, you know that little chipping green over at Wilshire? If you guys have played at Wilshire, there's a little chipping green right next to the first tee. And it was early in the morning. And my man was trying to hit little like baby flop shots. And he thinned the wedge. Chef Nimmer, who brought us food that time over at the other place, he thinned the wedge and it just beamed right through the window. Just went right through the window of someone's house right on the first tee. And then the dude came out and he went over and said, like, I'll pay for it, wah, wah, wah. And the guy was like, yeah, just give me $500 and I'll take care of it. But you're not the first person to break that window.
Oh, no. I was playing in San Diego at a public course, but it's a nice course called Arrowwood. And the houses on the actual course in 2023 were really low priced, but it's in the middle of fucking nowhere. It's in Oceanside, but in the county, not by the way, no ocean nearby. No ocean view. And this house, one of my boys from TaylorMade, stranger, his boy lives in that house. And he said he don't live there no more. I was like, why? He says he's had 300 golf balls hit that house. And he's like, I can't live here anymore. And they made him sign a waiver when he bought the house. He goes, hey, man, this is where you're living. This is what it is. And
you got to know. I mean, when we played, I forgot what course that was. I think maybe it was Waikele or something, one of those. And the guy came out and acted like I hit him with the ball. like I hit him in the head and shit. So I was kind of freaking out, like I was like, oh shit, I nailed this dude in the head. And then he got up and was just like he was just clowning, I guess it happens all the time that people hit shit in his yard,
My parents, they live on a golf course in Virginia, and so people always it's a par 5 dog leg left, so you hit the drive out and he's got to go left, and he lives out on the right. So basically, people try to hit like a hybrid to the green, and most misses for amateur golfers is a big slice, so they slice it in his yard all day long. So he's got these fucking fake balls, those little plastic balls, and he'll throw them out in the yard. And then the golfer will like hit their ball in that direction and see it. And they'll like jump the fence and go over there to grab the ball. And as soon as they pick it up, it's like, the fuck, a fake ball. Like he does it like a prank. Like it's just sitting there like, oh, that's
they
my
should put
ball.
the exploding ones out there.
And then I saw this thing on Instagram or something. And there's a guy who lived on a golf course and he had the same thing, a yard where everybody hits the balls in. And so he would stand out there and wait. And when someone would slice the ball in his yard, he'd just fucking lay down on the ground, act like he got hit.
That's what I was going to say. That shit is hilarious, bro.
Well, this guy
he
said,
got up out of nowhere like, oh.
Get up on your head like.
That shit is funny as hell.
this cat said Obama hit it in his yard, so I didn't feel as bad. I was like, okay.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
today's episode of Part 3 is sponsored by Long Drink, the Finnish drink. They are a big supporter of the show and a big supporter of golf, and it's goddamn delicious. Find it near you at longdrink.com.
I love golfing in Hawaii.
You play here ever?
A little bit. I think next week after my show, we're gonna go check out this place in Coyote Hill, but kind of by Fullerton out there. And then last month we did the Trump.
Shit was hard, wasn't it?
That shit was crazy.
By Palos Verdes, you mean?
Yeah.
That shit was crazy. Just walking
beautiful.
into it was a beautiful course, but walking into the Trump
with his posters and shit.
the pro shop.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit,
Yeah.
I'm in some shit right here.
It's a trip when you see people wearing like the Trump polos too when you go on a golf course.
Oh yeah,
like,
yeah.
They're like, it was, I was actually, I was just walking down, downtown Waikiki. And this dude had a big ass hat, said, "Let's go, Brandon." You know what I mean? So I was like a trip. I was like, oh shit, in Hawaii?
They love Trump out there.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
That Trump golf course here is as good as it gets.
It is.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. Every hole you see the ocean. It zigzags back and forth. It's
And the membership ain't that
hard as
bad.
can be, but it's very hard.
Yeah.
You lose your ball if you barely
Second
hit
most
it off.
lost balls, they said, in California.
Yeah,
Really?
you could lose a ball in a second.
In Hawaii,
Played it
probably
once,
be
never played again.
this spot, Royal. If you guys in Hawaii, you guys should check out this spot, Royal Hawaiian.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
What? It's way up in the hills.
It's like it's right on the
Jurassic Park.
the foothill. Yeah, it looks like
played it.
Dude, it's
It's
beautiful, right?
very hard too.
Oh yeah,
You lose balls at any second.
I
It's like a
lost like
jungle.
2 cases easy, but because sometimes like you'll just like hit it and it looked like you could get it, like
gone.
it's gone. Like
Yeah,
some many
yeah.
hoonies went in there and like took it and
Yeah,
you know.
I played that one. That one is insane.
But beautiful course,
oh,
right?
it's
Like
insane. It's
I love-
Jurassic Park. That's what it looks
Yeah.
like, right?
What
that one with the 3 terraces that you go up. Dude, that one is bad.
What kind of clubs do you play with, Slick?
In Hawaii, it's the Callaway, and then I was gonna get the exact same set here because I wanted to learn one set, you know. But then I went to these one cats that actually like watched my stroke and everything, and I don't know if they're just trying to upsell me on clubs or whatever, but they're like, no. This Callaway is not your shit, you know. They're like, you're tailor made, you know. So like they got me set up on this tailor made set, and you know what, like to be honest, the tailor-made one, actually for driving, like, you know how I always hit sometimes I'll hit the dirt in the back. With the tailor-made, that never happens. And I don't know if it's just a psychological thing or just the weight distribution on the club or something like that.
It
But
might just appeal to your eye better.
maybe, but yeah, so out here I use a tailor-made set, yeah.
What kind of irons are tailor-made irons too?
Yeah, I believe so. It's the blue one, the blue and white set. Sim
Sim too, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at that.
Okay.
Have you guys ever played before?
And I got the gold one.
Oh, the Ben Baller putter?
Yeah, I got that from Network, you know. I called my boys over there. Oh, I need that gold putter, you know.
I still don't have mine, but it's all right. Don't worry about
I got yours already, JR. It's just sitting at the
What
house,
about
man. I got you. Once they let me back in the crib, it's over.
I got the gold money counter and I got the gold putter.
That
So,
putter is legit, bro.
yeah.
It's not because mine, but
I haven't taken it on the course yet, but you know, but
Oh,
I got
it's-
it like
it's
in
soft.
the box and everything. It's nice.
It's soft. It's nice. It's nice. Have you ever thought about, I mean, what's kind of cool is your approach is different. Like, I was thinking like, yeah, I want to do golf this, golf that? And you're like, nah, it's like my departure. So I was like not expecting that answer from you.
Yeah.
So
Well-
like you want to keep it separate, like the streetwear.
Well, with my art, especially with my art, maybe not streetwear. Well, that's why he was the first guy I called. Like I said, it was during COVID, right? And I hit you out of the blue, you know. And I was like, I sent you that little comp with the golf glove with my 3 stripes on it.
He does the LA. He does he's got
You know,
like
because
a-
everyone knows me
like
for the LA
this.
hand. So I did like the white golf glove with the 3 stripes. I was like, what about this?
And then he flipped it backwards, so it says M-A or M-A-L, and it's the LA
But it's the
logo
LA flip.
backwards.
You know, it's a sick little lockup.
B-O-N, it's good.
Yeah.
It's like the Mickey looking hands with the
I didn't see it.
backwards.
I'll show you after. But it's a sick little lockup. But the thing is, like, I'm so used to, you know, me and my wife been in the streetwear game for so many years, and she is just so overjoyed and elated that we got out of it. The last few years, we kind of phased out the This Is It brand, and I still have my little shop called Big Dick's Hardware, but we just sell spray paint and whatever cool shit I want to make, we sell in my shop.
Where's the shop at?
It's in Compton, like Gardena, Compton area.
Oh, okay.
Now we have our own spray paint called Bukake. And
Oh, that's killer.
it's called Bukake because it covers. Yeah. And my
Do you
wife.
sell uniwides and ultrawides there?
Yeah, we sell everything. We sell a lot of like graph supplies and.
You got
know.
Marsh Ink?
Yep.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, you
pull
gotta
up,
come
man.
down. You gotta come down. Yeah, my wife is stoked that we don't make products season after season because I can come up with ideas all day long, but somebody has to make it. Somebody has to do production. Somebody has to do sales. Somebody has to collect money when these accounts don't pay. Somebody has to do trade shows, setups. So she's so over the moon that we don't do that shit no more, where I can just sell one sculpture or one piece and make what I did a whole season or 2 of doing This Is It. You know what I mean? So she's grateful for that, you know? And I'm, like I said, grateful that I'm in a position that I can even do that now, you know? But I still love streetwear. I still like to look fly. I still like to look good. So that's the problem, right? Because I don't really wear too many other people's brands. I've always worn my own shit, but I did call you for some shit. I was like, hey, it's like, can I get down with some? Because they make you wear fucking collar shirts at the golf course. I hate collar shirts. Like I don't, I've always worn t-shirts my whole life. Like collars and polos just ain't my shit. But they won't let you play without it. So, I got some ideas that I can do it with.
That's like with our shit too. Like it's like there's like only 2 or 3 rules. Like you got to wear a belt, you got to wear a polo. That's pretty much it. So it's like, all right, well, what can we work with here? Right. Considering, so like I'll do pants like these, but then I'll just do belt loops. So like I don't need the belt because they're elastic, but
they make you wear a belt?
You make you wear a belt, so I might as well just put belt loops even on like, I'll do like swimming trunks.
How do they even enforce the belt thing? I mean, are they looking at
because you got to tuck your shirt in. Oh. A lot of times they'll say, you got to wear a polo, you have to have it tucked in, and you have to have on a belt. And then they'll throw, sometimes you got to have shorts that go like below your knees. And there's all types of shit. And it's weird. It's like you're saying, like you like the like nice courses. Like the nicer the course in a lot of circumstances, the more traditions that they really uphold.
Right. So, sure.
Like Cypress Point is up in Carmel, where I live up in Pebble Beach. There's a course called Cypress Point. So Erica and I went to go play with my friend's grandmother, who's like 80, and she was like the women's club pro there or whatever. Like she's not the pro, the club champion. So she's super good, 80-year-old member. She took us out there. So my wife Erica gets out of the car in like a skirt, a collared shirt with a sweater and a skirt just below the knees. The grandmother runs to the parking lot in a cart, and she's like, honey, I'm so sorry, but you can't wear that skirt here. And then she's like, what? And then grandma said, look, I'm going to go in there and buy you a pair of pants. But like the rule here is women can't show any skin under the waist. Wow. And it's just like, that's it.
Yeah.
But it's the like, probably top 3 courses in the world that is like bucket list of where you want to play. So when you go play there,
just abide by the rules.
You just got to do it by the rules, right? So it's like she went and bought like a baggy pair of like Adidas rain pants and put it on and like fucked their whole look up, But at the same time, it's like,
but you know who actually I remember first playing at a nice course was actually with. I don't know if you guys know Steve Rocco. He owns World Industry. So at the time he was courting us because we had our brand Shaolin and stuff back then, and so he loves golf. And I remember meeting him on the course, beautiful course on the bluffs and everything, but he just didn't give a fuck and like about like what he was wearing or like even how we were playing. We were just jumping hole to hole and like whacking balls and stuff like that. So I thought that was kind of dope, right? And it's just because he was making so much money at the time of World Industries. I guess, they were doing crazy. No one could really tell him shit, No,
I don't know him, but I know who he is.
Yeah. So, and we didn't really know how to golf. So we're just all whacking away and, aiming for squirrels and shit like that.
I remember the first time Estevan and Mr. Cartoon played in George Lopez's tournament.
Yeah.
And this was a long time ago. This was like probably his first one, maybe 13, 14, 15 years ago. And they're wearing the baggy ass Joker brand shorts way past the socks all the way up. They're wearing collared shirts, but they're wearing Cortezes. You know what I'm saying? That was funny as hell. And they couldn't play, but they didn't get fucked. They had a good ass time. On the flip side, you talking about Steve's story, my first time playing Goat Hill, in Oceanside, this is a legendary, par 65. It's just a short course in by San Diego. And we're pulling around on the 13th hole. And on the 14th hole, it kind of shares almost the same tee box as like hole 6. And there's this dude with a beard. He looked like a homeless guy, and he's fucking with the grass. And Mike and Trotty were like, hey, what's up, John? How you doing? Who the fuck is that dude? The gardener? You fucking know that guy? And he goes, it's John Ashworth. He owns the course.
Yeah.
You ever heard of Ashworth? That was like they were a huge golf brand in the 90s, you know what I mean?
He's a legend.
Yeah. Dude was smoking weed. And I'm like, wait, he's what? He said, 1, he owns the golf course. Number 2, he owned Ashworth, which is like a really big, it was like, it's like
and
Callaway.
Now Linksoul,
What?
Linksoul. He owns Link Soul now.
I don't know what that is. Though.
Link Soul's another brand that him and his nephew own.
But you would think he was a homeless dude, and he wasn't wearing no collared shirt. That motherfucker looked crazy as hell.
That's how
Smoking
that's
weed.
how I felt with Steve Rocco out there. He was like, yeah, like wearing just shorts and I think sandals. He wasn't even wearing golf shoes, and we're just out there whacking away. But he was trying to get us to bring Shaolin brand to his thing, and he just loved golf too, and that was kind of cool. But even then, I didn't catch the fever. It wasn't till you know.
G.I., you ever met Ashworth before, John?
Yeah, I think I met him once when I played Go Park with Stranger and Trotty.
You would have never think in a million years that dude is a doodle.
No clue. He was just riding around on the golf cart.
And he smokes a lot of weed.
Here's the story.
That's my boy.
Here's the story. He said when I so first of all, when I first started Malbon Golf, he hit us up and he said, I want to come have lunch with you guys and like I want to meet, So we were like, let's go. That's great. So we took him to the Soho House over there. And I remember him getting there and he was like, man, this is fucking weird. What is this? You know, the Soho House is full of like artwork and fucking like whatever. It's the Soho House. So I was telling him, I'm like, it's just like a country club. There's just no golf course. You know, it's like the same thing. You got to be a member and you can go there, you get an account, eat, da da da. And he told me, he said, you guys, you and Erica, y'all realized what I realized a long time ago, that golf is escapism. He said, there's the real world and there's the golf world. And I just stay in the golf world because like I don't really like the real world that much, you know, which is like
I get it.
His whole thought on it and all that. He's the fucking best dude. He's like someone I look up to. Like Ashworth like changed all of everything, the whole fashion and everything else. And then so he's from Oceanside, lives in Oceanside. The city was given Goat Hill. The golf course was up for bid, so someone could bid it for like 12 years, and you get it for 12 years. And his son, John's son, was like, Dad, you should try to do it. You should try to get this course, and you can own it, run it, and operate it, whatever. And he told me he was just trying to do it to be cool to his son. And then next thing you know, he won it.
Oh, shit.
So he was like, oh, shit, I own a golf course. Like, I'm going to have to figure out how to make it profitable and, like, have fun with it. And he's done great things with that
Bro,
course.
that place, listen, this is a legendary place. You got to remember, every single golf brand, Slick, is in Carlsbad.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, all of them, Callaway, everyone, TaylorMade, they're all there. Even Hamna has an office there, you know what I'm saying? And, like, so they're all the executives are always playing there, and it's a short course. It's fun. There's always tournaments there. You got to definitely check it out. It's cheap.
I think Freddie Couples hit the hole-in-one there, a year or two ago, like in like one of their events.
Yeah, they do him versus Xander. Him, Xander, and this other dude who used to play with Tiger Woods and Freddie Couples and another dude. They do a 2-on-2 tournament. It's like a spectator, so it's like a exhibition where they go out and they do tournaments and they play with those wood drivers, and they play 18 holes and there'll be a few hundred people follow along each hole, maybe 1,000. So there's a lot of people out there, and yeah, one of them made a hole-in-one last year, but they do that to raise money for. I think the San Diego State golf team's daughter got sick or something. So they do it every year to like raise money for something or another. And so those pros come back every year. But that whole course, like there's people playing in like tank tops and T-shirts and flip-flops.
They don't
There's
enforce-
like zero dress code.
There's no dress
The bar
code.
is dope over there.
Yeah,
Super dope.
there's views. It's a grind.
Yeah.
There's only one par 5 on the course. I've had a few birdies on that. I've had legendary times. Trotty has a tournament. He has a skins game every week there, and like this dude Trotty's really good, and he don't always win. You know what I'm saying? So there's dudes over there that are
No,
sticks.
they're good players. And then they constantly have food trucks there instead of like a restaurant. They got food trucks there that change constantly, and they got big pit fire, bonfire type joints. So they're like, if you went and played, you could tell, with wife and kids, everybody will come meet you after. They got like micro brews and food trucks and acoustic guitar bands, and like it's super.
Do you guys
cool.
gamble when you're out there?
I do.
He does a lot. Whenever everyone's
JR
gambling, I'll
does.
gamble, but I don't go out there to gamble.
Ben
Yeah.
got to get his
Big game
handicap
tomorrow.
up a little bit to gamble.
But
I don't play good enough to gamble. I'm not confident enough with my game to gamble.
what he
Well,
just
that's
said,
handicaps. That's why
Like,
handicaps
like,
are
let's
for.
get
That's
No,
what
no, for
handicaps
sure.
are.
Right.
So, for example, if you were to play me, you might tell me, you give me 2 strokes a hole. So that means if you get a 6, it's a 4.
Okay.
So then you feel a little more confident.
Yeah.
Right? We're like,
Okay.
so that's how it's all built off a handicap system, so that like the best golfer in the world can play a beginner. Now, the best golfer is going to have to give the beginner maybe 3 strokes a hole. So if you got a 7, 7's really a 4. If you scrape a 5, that's a 2. And you beat the dude, you know? So that's just this whole handicap system is built where all different levels of golfer can play against each other for money.
I don't know who came up with it, but that's like the greatest thing I've ever heard in my life.
But the handicap thing is that like an honor system? Like who
basically you put your score in. You got to keep score perfectly.
Essentially no. They're sandbaggers.
Okay.
Yeah, there's both sides. There's like vanity. There's like vanity handicaps, and then there's also sandbag handicaps, and then there's everything in between. Is like people who put you basically have to play like 20 times or some shit. Okay. You put your score in every time. You keep the score.
An average.
And then there's a lot of things in there where like I'm a 5 handicap, so I can't take more than a double bogey. But with you being a beginner, you could take double par. So if it's a par 3, you could write down a 6. But you can't write a 12 on that hole because it'll throw everything off. So basically what they don't want is a low handicapper like me. I could play, 15 holes, even par, and then I play 3 holes, 5 over. So that'd be 5, 10, 15. I can't say I'm a 15 handicap just because 3 holes I shot 15 over on 3 holes, where I hit like 2 in the water, 1 out of bounds, hit 3 houses on 1 hole like JR did. You know what I mean? Like you're not allowed to do all that because they don't run it. And then there's another thing on there that says like if my handicap is 5, it won't let my handicap go from 5 to 10, even if I put in like 5 bad scores in a row. So it's all based off of tournaments, and then so you can show up and play in tournaments, and it's a very
also the slope rating of a course.
Thing.
You play a course that's really hard, right? That's technically a harder course. And if you play better there, they might give you,
But to me, it really just comes down to gambling because you're playing for money. And like your handicap needs to give you you don't want to be called a sandbagger, but you also don't want to lose, $500 for sure. Like on the competitive shit.
Put it this way, if you're a 1, you want to be a 1.
Yeah.
There's so many dudes that'll claim to be a 7 or an 8, and that's really a 1. And to go out there and fucking wax you and grease your ass, like you turn around, you giving him shots. It's like, dude, what?
Yeah. I mean, shit, when Trotty told me he was a +1, I didn't know what that meant. I thought he was just saying he was a 1.
Yeah, what that means is if I'm a 5,
you got to give him.
He's going to give me 3 aside, but it's not going to be a walk in the park. It's not going to be easy for him or me.
I know
it's going to be, I could beat him, but if I don't play good and he plays good, he's going to beat me. So it's all based off of like,
no, for sure,
how you can play an even match.
Yeah.
No matter
I thought
your
a +1 though was a 1. I didn't know it got better than 0. I didn't understand that.
No, those pros are +8s or 10s, +10s.
Yeah.
Like
sure.
they shoot average 7, 8 under par.
Right.
Every time they play. So that is like, I remember one time I was at the Grove and Phil Mickelson was a +6, and he was gambling people who were my level at 6, but he would give them 12 strokes. And he lost 15, 20 grand that day because like he didn't play good and those 6 handicaps played good. So it's wild. But I love gambling.
It's funny, I was at Grove and I seen Rory like a couple groups ahead. He just, leisurely playing with his boys, just chilling like how we play, not in tournament form or whatever. I'm sitting there like, I wonder what he shot. Like, what do you think he shoot? I'm asking the other dudes in the group. He's probably 63, 67, 68. I'm like, nah, he definitely shot probably 65. Walk in the pro shop like, oh, what'd you shoot today? He's like, he literally counted in his head. He's like, 2, 3, 3, 4, 2, 3, 65. I'm like, what?
That's 7 under.
And just messing around though.
But leisurely, like just chilling.
So like that's 7 under. If I shoot 7 over, he would have to give me 14 strokes so we could bet even. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I have 7 bogeys and 11 pars. He has 7 birdies and 11 pars. So I need 14 strokes to be able to keep up with him. But if he gives me 14 strokes, I know I can beat him. You take 14 from him?
If any pro gives me 14 strokes, I'm waxing it.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure.
No question.
There's no question.
You know, I played in my first American PGA tournament earlier this year, and they gave me 10 strokes, and I didn't even tell them my handicap or nothing. They just put me getting 10 strokes, and I had an eagle on a par 5, and that had a stroke on that hole, so it became an albatross.
Holy shit!
And Jon Rahm was like, "Hey man, you gotta keep doing this, bro." So I ended up shooting at 81 that day. So I got 10 strokes. I ended up shooting at 71.
That's really good.
That was really crazy because I didn't play. I was really nervous and I played bad, but I didn't really get in trouble very much because I didn't try to go crazy.
But you get to take Jon Rahm's drive.
Yeah, I got to take his drive on every hole.
Yeah, so
that's cool.
he's the best golfer.
But the only problem is,
you know what I mean?
I mean, he's only the number one player.
He's only number
So
one.
also you get to drop from the best drive from your group.
after his drive, I took his drive. The problem was, on some holes, he took out a 3-iron on a par 5. I'm like, bro, what are you doing? And he goes, I think I know what I'm doing. I'm like, bro, man, knock this bitch out 400 yards. What are you doing, man? He's like, nah, I do a strategy. And I'm like, dog, because he's like, a par 5, I don't want this guy to pull out no iron, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, dog, like, we're in trouble here. But
Mind you, you playing for a damn pro-am. He's playing for the actual tournament the next 4 days.
He said, mind you.
He's only playing for $4 million that week.
oh, man. And still, though, bro, you don't want to see Jon Rahm pulling no damn iron on a par 5, bro.
Yeah, but he can hit 3-iron on the green.
I was about to say, he can hit that 3-iron 320.
Yeah.
Nah, he was hitting it far, though, bro.
265,
Yeah, probably like
easy,
270.
270.
Yeah, it was stupid.
So
Bro,
he hits
he catch
270,
the right slope
270.
that is rolling out the 3.
Oh, yeah, true. It was a dog leg, though. So he was like, nah, I'm not hitting my driver here. And I was like, hit it over the tree, fool. He's like, he started laughing. But
Well, what about, do you have any plans or what are your thoughts? So there's like Daniel Arsham, Daniel Arsham, the sculpture artist, etc.
Yeah.
So there's a project in the works with him and some big famous golf courses, and we're working with them, etc. So they're going to basically use artwork, sculptures,
That's
put
dope.
throughout the golf course as like obstacles.
I always thought like if I ever built my own course, it'd be a cross between like a really sick ass miniature golf course and a real golf course.
Yeah.
But I mean, not to take away the seriousness of golf and stuff, but like I would love if the whole green was just like slowly moving, I would add like little, I guess, miniature golf course, little things in there to kind of make it more difficult. But as an adult, like how would we do it? You know what I mean? Like on a more like crazier scale,
What's that show they had? Holy Moly? What Steph Curry did?
yeah. He was kind of doing it. Yeah.
But
but not really corny. But I like that idea of doing like art sculptures or something
as
like
obstacles.
like you gotta hit your ball like through the LA fingers, like
or just put LA fingers out on like where the sand trap is out to the right. You move the trap out. You put a huge statue there, and then everyone has to play, and that's like a tree.
Yeah.
So trees are put in certain places to like block the green or make it harder to get to. So think of what I think will happen in the future will be more of that, where people will take like golf courses and use them into like art nature walks.
That'd be sick. I would love to do some sculptures.
Thought of that, of like people like St. Andrews are talking about doing it, because like a course like St. Andrews over in Scotland, I think every Sunday the course is closed and it's open for the public to do picnics and walk their dogs and such.
Sick.
Right? So it's like, why not let them do that? And then while they're doing it, why not have, masterpieces that are inserted on the golf course that are aging with the weather and tarnishing, and think of like a big metal sculpture out there, or like 5 years from now.
I'm working on this one sculpture. It was for Beyond the Streets, and it's actually like I don't want to say Mickey, but because I don't do Mickey, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a sculpture like of the mouse, like with the like Buddha-esque with like 100 hands, like it looks coming out of a lotus and something like that. Mm-hmm. But I would love to see something like that in a fountain or something in front of the green, like blocking the ball, right? Like you have to get it over the hands, and he's like,
think of
that would be some epic shit. But yeah,
sculptures coming out of the lake in front of the par 3, and you got to hit it up over it. So like that is like Arsham, he's doing like those big like gods, like those ancient like sculpture statues or whatever, and it's like in bronze with crystals and decompartmentalizing and falling apart and such. There's I think been working with Kohler forever. You know, the Sinks and Kohler and all that. So they own like a handful of golf courses. They own Whistling Straits. They own a couple of courses in Wisconsin. But like the whole like art, like to me, that's like just such an amazing concept of like there's thousands of golf courses in America, you know, and like for sculptures and statues and all of that
I could
stuff.
see that
Yeah,
like,
bro. That actually, and Daniel's a friend of mine. That would be crazy just to.
just think of like 6 of his sculptures, huge ones, oversized, 30-foot tall, placed
strategically
around the course,
that'd be sick.
where the designers are like, think of a futuristic golf course, like there's an architect and a designer of the golf course working with someone like yourself and being like, how are we going to work your art to make the course more challenging and hard and part of it? So it's, I hope a lot more people like hear this and start doing that
I got this one character. It's like I call it the Loch Ness mobster, but it's actually like a Loch Ness monster, but it's actually an arm coming out of the water, and it's a spray can, you know, and he has a little face and stuff on it, and then the humps are the arms and stuff. But I always thought that'd be a great like fountain, you know, because instead of spray paint, he's like spitting out water and stuff. But yeah, that'd be beautiful on a course, dude. That'd be epic,
right? Like
know?
on the lake in a course in Hawaii, on that course we were talking about.
That would be. But yeah, so I mentioned to you also, I'm talking with the Top Golf guys to possibly do something over there at the El Segundo thing.
Yeah.
I guess they're doing
At
something.
the lakes.
Yeah.
They have a few lakes over there for you.
So-
Now you know what you can pitch them.
Yeah. No, I don't think they have time for that one, but I think they want to do something with the hand. So we'll see what's up, you know. Yeah, that's pretty exciting.
Great.
Yeah.
Top Golf's cool because they basically are starting to do more stuff like that where they can like, they bought the lakes at El Segundo, the course that's attached to the driving range.
Okay.
They turned the driving range into a Top Golf. They got a par 3 golf course, but like they're mixing like technology and stuff together for the first time where like, you know, Top Golf's all techie, you know, flat screens, this, that, and the other. So on the 9th hole at the Lakes golf course, there's a huge monitor and they own a thing called Top Tracer. So that's when you watch on TV and like the pro hits the ball and it shows a red line flies and shows how the ball's flying through the air because it's hard to see the ball. So it shows it does like an outline of where the ball went. So your swing on the last hole, it texts you a video of your swing, and then the tracer flies and sees your ball landing on the green. So like
we're playing there Friday, so I'm excited.
it's super fun. Mixing like art and technology into the nature of a golf course is like fascinating to me.
Hell yeah.
Grow the game, man. Grow the game.
Yeah. I guess I will be thinking about art now while I'm on the course.
Just start looking around.
Damn it.
That
I
motherfucker.
was trying to use it as an escape. You know, I'm going to be like, oh, we need to do a sculpture right here. Like,
It's over. You'll never not working now. For real. You're on the course like, holy shit, I can put something there. I can put something there. Look at that lake.
but great excuse to the wife that I have to go to the course. It goes, it's work now.
Yeah.
Start sketching it out a little bit. Like take photos of the course and then go home super. But I think the more, like even like at a course like in Hawaii, if you have a relationship with them, whatever, but like, you know, like Daniel Arsham, he's got like sculptures. You know what I mean? So it's like you don't even have to create something new. It's like just I have these 3 in warehouse. I'm gonna take them out of the warehouse and you bolt them into the ground and put them out there. Like even talking about cause earlier, like El Segundo, I was trying to tell them, the Top Golf people, like get one of those like 60-foot tall caused characters and have it where you can see it from the highway. Remember I hit you?
Yeah.
Because I was trying to get to cause to try to get cause.
He just didn't want to like. He I wanted to see. Okay, you just not replying right now, or you're not replying about this, and then he replied about something else.
Yeah, because he thinks the same way we did when we started this. It's like, what? A golf course? Like, I ain't fucking with no golf.
But at the
course.
same time, look, bro. Jesus Christ, what's my man's name? God damn it, Jr. Owner of Cleveland Cavaliers. Dan Gilbert.
Gilbert.
So when Dan hit up Cause to put the sculpture in front of StockX, like it wasn't shit, you know what I mean? And he bought that sculpture for nothing, bro. Like 2-3 M's. You sell that thing for like 25 M's right now. You know, it's like 40 feet tall. He just has to, Brian just has to think it's cool.
Yeah, which is he doesn't think golf is cool. In a nutshell, that's for sure. You know what I mean? Like I doubt Cause is like, man, golf's so cool. He doesn't play. He doesn't think golf's cool, you know?
Yeah.
But like to sell it to the dudes in Detroit to put it outside of a building in downtown Detroit. Like, that's cool, you know? But even like Topgolf, what they're doing, they're buying driving ranges with golf courses. So then they come in and they spend how many $1 million to build Topgolf, right? To build a Topgolf. So it's like, I'm telling them, like, you own the property. It's an asset to the business. So go buy 5 cause statues, huge ones, put them on the course. It's going to make PR. It's going to make people say, I want to go play just to go walk out there and get a photo in front of the cause character, right? So that's
what the Fertitta brothers did when they bought the Palms Casino. And they bought all that crazy art. They bought a $150 million, not Coons, what's my man's name? God damn, why not drawing a blank, dude? Damien Hirst.
Yeah.
They have $150 million Damien Hirst. Then they have, $100 million Basquiat's. And
I had a sculpture in there in the Palms. Yeah. They bought they commissioned me to do a LV because everyone knows me for the LA hands. So they had me do a LV for the entrance.
You turned it upside down.
Yeah, so I got an LV in there, like a 5-footer or something like that. So I was stoked to be in good company. Had the cause outside.
But yeah, people were going to the restaurant
just to go look at the
steakhouse. At Palms, just to go do that.
There's a course in the Hamptons called the Bridge. And the Bridge is an old racetrack, Chevron racetrack.
That shit is so
You've
dope.
been there, right? It's just fucking nuts, dude. So some Wall Street dude went and built it. It's over $1 million, maybe $1.25 million to become a member. So when I was talking to them about like joining the place and hearing about the whole membership thing, so they're like, you could buy a house in the Hamptons on the water for $7 million. You could buy one in the woods for $2 million. So go buy a house in the woods for $2 million, pay us $1 million, and you have a beach club and a golf course and an unbelievable clubhouse. So they're on some anti-shingles philosophy. So it's super modern, art museum, clubhouse. The best view in the clubhouse is the spa, the locker rooms, where it outlooks over. They got neon artwork from like dudes from like Marfa, Texas, who put artwork all out on the golf course. So at night when you're eating dinner or you're in the spa or whatever, when you look out on the golf course, there's like glowing Playboy bunnies and like, just that Marfa art type of world. But Tom Sachs designed the trophy for the club championship. And they got like Leor Cohen and all these like, famous businessmen from New York City have won this club championship. So for years, I've been telling myself, like, I want to get my name on that trophy. And it's funny. It's like getting $1.2 million to hand over to join the club seems like nearly impossible. But what would be even harder than that would be to win the damn club championship. Winning the club
Leor
championship.
Cohen is good at golf?
Yeah, he's good.
Damn, I didn't know that, bro.
It's like some Tom Sachs, like trippy little spaceshipy looking fucking astronaut weird trophy that he handmade, and then someone scratches your name in it if you win the tournament. I think it's a good time to wrap it up.
Yeah.
OG
definitely.
Slick, thank you for coming, my friend.
Man,
Slick,
thanks for having us.
Appreciate you, bro.
Thanks for having
Stephen
me.
Malbon, J.R. Smith, Ben Baller. We appreciate y'all. See you next weekend.